Welcome to Nerd and the Noob, Episode 4. We made it a month! Hello! Okay, just making sure everybody's awake. Hello, and welcome back to Nerd and the Noob. I am the nerd. My name is Greg.
I'm the noob. I'm Michael.
And thank you for listening. Goodbye. No, just kidding. So, I wanted to start talking today about the fact that there was a lot of listens, a lot of downloads and stuff that I saw on the little tracker thing for the podcast thing.
Right.
And it makes me smile a lot. Thank you, everybody. Even if it's just a few people, it is still really cool to know that somebody thinks we're not so boring.
That's probably usually a good thing. What we like to say in the business is
The business.
The business is that even if all you get is one viewer, I'm sorry, I'm YouTube. If all you get is one listener, that one listener is epic.
You're all epic.
So there you go.
And that's corny, and I'm okay with that. Okay, so let's get right into the long box for the day.
Wait.
I want to get into the long box.
How was your week?
My week? Hot.
Well, let's try this then. How was your weekend? Let's try that.
I tried to fry an egg on the sidewalk.
Did it work?
No.
Why didn't you take like a metal pan or something out there?
Because that's cheating.
You can't fry an egg on the sidewalk.
Did they do it on Mythbusters?
No, but a customer of mine did it the other day. I try. But why don't you take a pan, like a cookie sheet, put it upside down, just leave it out there, just like 2 hours. It's been 100 and something degrees out here every day for the last 4 days. Then go out there and take an egg. Normally people do them on like car hoods.
Okay, yeah, but I didn't want to put it on my car hood.
Why not?
Because it would run down.
Because it would run down. Of course it would.
And then I would have a string of egg and mini cats eating egg off my car. I don't need that.
Okay, so other than trying to fry the egg, how was your weekend?
My son had his first sleepover.
Oh, that's exciting.
Which was fun because he stayed up till 1. Yay! I did. His friend's dad is one of our best friends.
Did you play that new game?
We played Munchkin. I won all 3 times. Eat it.
Who'd you play?
We played Derek and Jerry.
Oh, nice.
Derek has commented on a few videos, so he's going to hear this, and I'm going to tell him, suck it. But that was pretty much my weekend, playing with Trent and the kids, and, just the sleepover, which was funny and tiring.
Oh, yeah.
How was your weekend?
I don't know, mine was pretty good. Well, actually, my weekend didn't start until today.
Oh, that's right, because you work.
I work on Saturdays, but...
hey, you're a cable guy. Is it hot outside?
It's very, very, very hot outside where we are. It's very hot. Anyways, so... but we got up today, and we went to the mall. Went walking around, bought some T-shirts from Hot Topic, and then went to the tea place, got some more tea.
Because you're a hipster.
Apparently, I'm a hipster. I'm enjoying it. There's some of them that are and some of them that are yum. So far,
stop buying the and the
I won't know which ones are the and the until I try them. The problem with trying teas
is it expensive.
It's expensive. Mm-hmm. Dude, like okay, so one of these little canisters, it's about, what do you think? 6 inches tall?
8 inches.
8 inches tall. It's not really a large canister. It was like $78 for a full canister. Now, I didn't get a full canister. I got like 2 ounces.
Holy
which is
moly.
like
but you still get the whole canister?
Oh yeah, the canisters are cool looking.
Is it laced with gold trim?
Possibly.
For $78?
No.
For dried leaves?
The tea was $78.
You can get better
The canister itself was like $6. And no, you cannot get better at Walmart. Okay, that is bagged crap. That's like shoveled off the end. I don't know what it is, but it just doesn't taste right. So anyway, I got a couple of different kinds. I tried one of them. It's It's not it's
It's a possibility.
It's a possibility. I may have to switch it up, kind of put it with some other teas to make it sound better. Anyways, so we did that, and then we came home and just watched some TV and had a good day. So,
are you sufficiently satisfied with the weekend chat?
What, you don't like the weekend chat? I kind of like it. I'm going to add that to the doc. Hang on a minute. Let's see. Yes,
Weekend chat.
Doo-doo.
He is literally adding it to the doc.
Weekend chat explosion.
Explosion?
I can spell explosion for a minute. Boo, 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 boo.
I talked about a fried egg and you talked about tea. That's an explosion?
It is to me.
Okay.
Alright, so...
Moving into the long box now. We're going to... A few things that we're going to discuss. Some of them are goofy. Some of them are not. The first one I saw is Superman and Batman are going to be in a feature film. Yay, but it's not the Justice League. What it is Lego is getting with... let's see here. Who does it say? Lego is going to get with the directors from 21 Jump Street, Phil Lord and Chris Miller, and it looks like they're going to do a live-action / animated hybrid of Superman and Batman with the voices of Will Arnett as Batman and possibly Channing Tatum as Superman.
I'm sorry. No on so many... Channing Tatum does not. No. I like him. He's funny. He's a good dancer. No! Will Arnett as Batman makes me giggle. Because I imagine him in that Hulu commercial. Hey world, I'm Will Arnett, TV star. And it makes me giggle. It's just, yeah, anyways. But
No. I agree with you with the Channing Tatum thing. Yes, he is cool, he's talented, he's funny, and every woman loves him. He might actually look cool in the tights. But I think, for my money, it will always be Tim Daly. He was the voice of Superman for a while.
But they're not talking about these being voices, right?
Yeah, they're going to be voiced because it's a Lego...
But you said live action / animated.
I'm thinking like Roger Rabbit style. Like they'll be real people, but these guys are going to be animated, as in the Lego animation.
This is going to be totally effed up.
It looks like one of the guys from Robot Chicken, Chris McKay, is going to be part of the co-directing team. The other one is going to be Phil Lord, as I said, from 21 Jump Street, which I've heard is very funny. I've yet to be able to see it.
Yeah, I'm okay without that.
It's what it is it's going to follow the lead character Emmett, who is voiced by Parks and Recreation's Chris Pratt, and he's described as an ordinary law-abiding Lego minifigure who is mistaken for the most extraordinary master builder around. He's drafted into a fellowship of strangers on a quest to stop an evil tyrant from, I love this line, from gluing the universe together. As Legos, you can't glue Legos together, then they lose all their Lego-ness.
You know, I always wondered about those little Lego games. Now, what if somebody, like the evil bad guy, decided he wanted to make a giant, huge, green flat piece? Man, you get those Legos on there, those things don't come off without you bending it. Like the little... Wouldn't that be funny though? Like it's like,
but they have a Lego crowbar.
But the Legos don't have the Lego crowbar. That would just be redundant.
I bet they do.
That would be
I got a friend to ask. I have a Lego connoisseur buddy.
That would be redundant. There's not a little mini crowbar it wouldn't work. The thing would have to be the size of their we guess okay that doesn't.
No. Okay, I look at it this way: if it is in the vein of the Lego games that they've been coming out with, which are very good. When you go into the game store and you talk to the guys about these games for your kids, air quotes, most of the time they'll go, yeah, dude, I was totally playing this with my cousin for like 6 hours. I'm not kidding. That's what the dude at the GameStop told me, is he was playing this game. The newer one, the new Batman Lego 2, they have voices in them already.
I just never liked the Lego stuff.
I didn't either, but I got a 5-year-old now, so I have to try them, and they're fun.
No, you don't have to try them. I've been at your house when he's been playing Legos. Hey, Michael, beat this part.
He's getting better. Yeah,
yeah, he can whoop my butt at Mario, but I still have to beat the Lego board. I don't hear it.
We can't play Mario anymore. Okay, are you done with that?
I'm done with that.
Okay. Moving on. This was one you found, so you started out.
Okay, so this one's goofy. I found it in the tail end of last week. And the title reads, 7 Futurama Gadgets That Are Nearly a Reality. I'm not even going to bother reading the actual
article
on it, because who would do such a thing? what I want to do is I want to look at the 7 things that are nearly a reality. So we got one that says the smelloscope is nearly a reality. And let's see.
I read this. The Department of Homeland Security is funding funding 3 research companies to develop a chip to go in your cell phone that'll yell at you and say, "Hey, something bad here. Go away." It'll warn you whenever there is a gas or something like that.
But that's not smell-o-vision. But I get it. Or
if
smell-o-scope.
You can't smell it, it's something that is smelling out something for you. That is actually a really cool idea because, gas leaks in the house, things like that. All of a sudden, your cell phone's sitting on the table and Ice-T goes, "Yo, it smells in here."
Well, yeah, I like the last line of that part. It says, "Also farts we didn't even know existed."
Oh, nice.
Okay, and then the next one is holograms everywhere. So if you look at all on YouTube, you saw that they did the Tupac Shakur hologram.
Which was very cool. I don't like rap at all, but
it was pretty cool.
That was cool.
Yeah, it was neat. It wasn't the classic, "I'm gonna hold this up like help me Obi-Wan Kenobi, you're my only hope" hologram. But it was really neat. So anyway, I'm just gonna.
There's also one. There's talk of bringing Freddie Mercury back on stage for Queen, and that is epically cool.
That would be awesome.
That is so cool.
All right, next one is career chips. Essentially, we already have stuff like this, but we don't. It's not career chips, not what you can do. It's more like we're already putting chips in our bodies to be able to track people and pets. And right now, it's a big thing with pets, not so much people. But I'm pretty sure it's there. It's going to be there for kids in the next 10 years. So, anyways, the holophoner. I think you read this one.
The holophoner, if you watch the show, is the one that sounds like complete and total, but it makes a picture in a holographic form, and you can do both theater and music in one, pretty much. And what they're putting this down as the equivalent now is an iTunes or an iPhone app called Sonic Wires Sculptor, which is described as it turns lines that you draw in real time into melodies and sounds, and then it rotates them in a 3D axis, creating loops. So you don't get pictures, you get cool loops from drawing stuff, but I don't know. I don't have many Apple products, so I have no way to test this. But it sounds decent enough.
That sounds pretty cool.
All right.
Now we've got number 3 is the tube transport system. And this one I don't think is as far off as people think it is. So in the opening credits, it's very prevalent. You got people shooting through the tubes. Now, obviously we're not going to do that because that would just be weird. But they've got these like thing. It looks like a large bullet or a canister that everybody sits in, and I just figured out what's in that compartment. It's luggage.
Oh, nice.
But you got, and so everybody's like laid down, and let's see. I'm gonna actually read this one. No. The proposed evacuated tube transport, which uses magnetic levitation. Those insane clown posses were right about magnets. Okay. Can allow passengers sealed in tubes to travel approximately 4,000 miles per hour while remaining airless and frictionless. Also, passengers will not experience discomfort because the tube will be comparable to riding in a normal car on a highway, right? Well, who wants to be the first one in an accident going at 4,000 miles an hour? That would be frightening. But then again,
hey, I can fix that.
What's that?
It has a detection system, so it knows if a crash is available. It's coming. They use the foam from Demolition Man, and they just fill up the whole thing.
Nice. That would suck balls if your mouth was open.
No, I don't think it's it comes in from like up here, so it wouldn't no. But, yeah, it would totally work. It saved Sylvester Stallone.
You could just go so far as to have to wear a helmet. It would be kind of uncomfortable for that.
4,000 miles an hour, a helmet's not going to save squat because your head's going to jiggle your brain to goo.
All right. Anyways, number 2,
Coolometer. That's the internet.
Yeah. Have you ever looked at hotornot.com?
There are many places out there that tell you who is cool and who is not.
And number 1 was the NetSuit. And we're kind of on our way to this. We've already got stuff, you got the glasses you can put on, 3D imaging, you've got conveyor, it says here, Jamiroquai like conveyors in a stationary room. I'm assuming that's something like you stand on and it moves as you move.
It's a big platform thing that as you walk in different directions, it will adjust for what direction you're walking or moving.
And
I don't know if it's run capable yet, but that is very cool.
I'd like to see this, like, actually, like, I want my room, I want my internet room. You know, you got to go to the room to get on the internet. You know, you still have basic phone internet, but hey, baby, I'm going to go to the internet bar. When you say you're going to go to the internet cafe, you mean it. You're going to jump in, go to the internet cafe. That would be awesome.
There's a book that I read, and I've been trying to get you to read it. You're halfway done with it, you said. It's called Ready Player One, and in that, Ernest Cline, the author, talks about what he's got as far as a haptic suit, which includes you can get a full body suit, gloves, a mask, and it will read how, you know, if you reach out to grab something, the gloves will restrict your hand to where you feel like you're holding that item. And the suit will, you know, if you get punched in the arm in the game or in the internet or whatever, you could feel that because it's gonna give you something right there. It's gonna give you a pressure. So when I saw that, and then I saw I saw somebody talk about the net suits there. I agree with you. We're not that far off from stuff like that, but I also fear that we're not that far off because as a society, we're regressing into our own houses all the time. And as cool as Skype and Google Plus and all this.
Really? Google Plus?
Because you can use like the Google Chats.
That thing. Gotcha.
You know, and you've got FaceTime on iPhones and stuff like that. As cool as all that stuff is, as convenient as it is to talk to family members across the globe or across the state or across the room, it's still regressing us back to a point to where we're not going to see each other anymore in real life to the point to where we are doing everything in the internet, completely living in it.
Well, I don't know. I think you're right. I think probably what's going to happen is we're going to hit like a little. I think everything's going to kind of stop progressing where we're just sitting at the computers, you know. But this is not a conversation for that. So one of the big reasons I picked this because I thought that was cool. But what I wanted to get into is if you could pick one item from anything you've ever read it's sci-fi, comic, anything that could be real life right now and you could have it, what would it be?
Lightsaber.
Oh, that would be awesome.
I'm a Star Wars nerd. Of course, I love lightsabers.
Let's see, and I had one picked out a minute ago, and I totally forgot what it was.
Really?
And I have to think about it for a minute. Hang on, give me a minute. Entertain them.
All of this will be edited out. Probably not, because I'm.
Yeah, no, we're not going to edit that out.
Edit it out.
What did I say? I said something earlier, didn't I?
No, you didn't actually say anything.
Oh.
You just said I had something.
Bananas.
Nice.
I don't know. Lightsaber's good. See, now you got me thinking Star Wars, and that's where I'm screwed up. I'm trying to think. I know what I want.
What?
I want an Iron Man suit. Like, not these ones that the military call Iron Man suits. I'm talking, I want to step into a suit, and I want to fly.
I can beat you.
What's that?
I can go even nerdier.
What's that?
Hoverboard. Where is our hoverboard?
Right? It is 2012. We were promised flying cars by the year 2000.
They float.
They don't.
There's some floating cars out there.
No, that's a death trap in the air. I don't want to hear it.
Okay, so what do you guys think? What is out there that you would like to see made a reality, or that you know of that is close to a reality that we didn't talk about? Let us know in a comment or an email or anything like that. All the stuff will be at the end of the episode.
Yeah, if you're watching this on YouTube, leave it in the comments. If you've got it on iTunes, shoot us an email. Email will be in the show notes, all that good stuff. Let us know, like he said, what you want to see. Pick anything.
Even the bad ones will get read, I promise. Even the weird ones.
I mean, unless for some ungodly reason we get 200 of these things, we'll read them all next week on Nerd and the Noob. Anyways, moving on.
Next up is a new DC animated movie, and these just keep getting better and better for me, called Superman vs. the Elite. And this movie was fantastic.
It was good. I have one thing to say first. The cover, he kind of looks like Elvis.
Yeah, which is funny because on the animation inside the movie, he looks like Jay Leno.
He does, but on the cover, he just kind of looks like Elvis. Anyways, I'll let you continue.
Okay, so what it is basically, it's talking about what would happen when the world gets tired of Superman stopping the villains but putting them in jail when we know they're going to get right back out. And someone comes along and says, "Hey, we can stop them for good, but we're going to kill them."
What? You mean did supervillains get out of jail? They can break out of regular prison?
Yes. Okay, so the movie, it was directed by Michael Chang. George Newbern played Superman, and Polly Perrette, played Lois. And if anybody watches NCIS, it's my name. What is her name? You know it. I know it too. Abby. Abby from NCIS. She plays Lois, and she played a fantastic Lois. She played a Lois that I thought was one that everyone should be. She was very commanding. She doubted him. She talked about how, well, maybe these elite guys who are killing the bad guys in this are doing something right now, because it is true. Millions of people in the comic book worlds, they die because the super villains get right back out of jail.
Right.
And
exactly.
Superman just, he's all about taking him, trying to get him, rehabilitated and stuff. And that's been Superman's shtick forever. I mean, it's how he's always been.
My notes on it are, okay, so like I said, the art on the cover, I could have done without. It just kind of looked a little weird. Looked like a little, like whoever drew it decided they were better than they were and kind of went over the top with it. Anyways, the actual movie itself, it was pretty good. I was not a big fan of the main bad guy, the British dude.
The main guy, Manchester Black.
Yeah, I mean, obviously he's British, and it wasn't because he was British. I think it was because of how it was portrayed. And then, like, the powers. Every time he used his powers, his eyes did this weird thing with the black coming out his eyes.
I disagree. I thought that was a cool signal.
Nah, I didn't like it. What
did you think of on top of the Superman villain? What did you think of the Superman villain in this, the Atomic Skull?
Oh, that guy was pretty cool. But that's a normal Superman villain. It's kind of out of the realm of the norm.
I don't know.
You know what scared the crap out of me in this? What? Is getting to see Superman freak out and lose it.
The way the movie progressed, like a 3-issue miniseries in a comic book. It progressed from the point to where he joins them and helps them stop some stuff because he thinks they're doing a good job. But in the middle of it, they decide that Superman's not doing a good enough job, and they're going to do better for him. They're gonna start doing it better by taking out the competition and whatnot.
Right.
Or not the competition, taking out the bad guys completely, just destroying them, just dispatching them right then and right there. So
dispatching sounds so easy.
Yeah. So it progresses from that to the point to where they actually call out Superman because he's trying to stop them from doing this. He still believes in his ideals of, the
truth, justice, and American way. Really? You have a Superman tattoo on your arm?
And
you couldn't think of it? No, bullcrap. Yeah, you were.
Innocent till proven guilty. That's what I was going with.
Right, yeah.
Which
he was lying.
Okay. And, it progresses to that point at the end where they call him out, and there is an all-out epic fight.
Yeah, on the moon.
And, on the moon. They move him to the moon.
I actually liked that. I was like, that was all that was Dragon Ball Z-esque to me. It was like Dragon Ball Z, they were always like, we mustn't fight here. Let's go to the one of many thousands of deserts there are around everywhere. Instead, they go, we're going to the moon. It's easier. It's more believable than there being a desert right there.
I mean, it's made of cheese.
Fair enough.
So, the fight on the moon starts out very cool. They are beating the crap out of Superman. They are tearing him up, and it's very weird to see. I have a little bit of a complaint on that because throughout the whole movie, there are sections where his power is big, and then it's not so big, and then his power is big, and then it's not so big. And that was a disconnect for me in some ways, but it's always like that with Superman. It depends on the situation for the storytelling.
See, I kind of agree with that. It kind of smacks of unbelievability. But
it is Superman.
Well, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the fact, like, if you go with comic book lore, it kind of smacks of unbelievability. Because you've got things like, he can take out Darkseid, who's, like, essentially his equal.
Yeah, but I mean,
and then
he's still got to get like mad.
Yeah, so I mean, it's okay. It's not a huge deal, but like I said, all in all, just if I'm going to rate it out of 5 stars, I'd probably give it 3.5. It wasn't my favorite. There's been some better movies that I've watched, but it was good animation. The story was okay, and the voice. I loved the voice acting in it. It matched well. But really, all it was for me is it was the story. I've never read anything with the Elite in it. It sounds like a good premise, but I think they, even from the beginning, they were like portrayed as already bad guys just because of the way they look, the way they act.
Well, even like the opening credits gave this like London, pop grunge music thing, and I think that's what they were playing off of. For me, I'll give it a 4 out of 5. What would push it over the top for me is the Superman voice actor. He was good. I liked him. That's fine. But again, my Superman is Tim Daly. Will always be that way. Just the way, Kevin Conroy is my Batman. Mark Hamill is my Joker. I mean, I have 3 mainstays in the DC universe. The others can be whoever they choose, but those 3 for me are what count. But not having read the comic book, and I still haven't. I want to go back and get it now. And if they put a trade out combining what this story is from, I'll probably get it and read it. But towards the end, when he goes berserk and finally decides to go along with their idea,
tell them the ending.
To take out the bad guys, they're the bad guys now.
Right.
So when Superman decides to take you out, you're getting taken out.
I know I
thought that part, it scared me. That part was very cool. It was very intense for me.
Yeah, that whole end section, like the beginning of it, it just kind of didn't all seem to fit to me. The middle was, like I said, it was kind of okay, but that end was fantastic. It was Superman-esque. It was, prove this, prove that. I'm not going to spoil the ending for you. If you want to watch it, I've got it pulled up on Amazon right now. You can buy it for $14.99, and it's a Blu-ray. It's really, really good. I would suggest
even if you can get it in a red box, just rent it for one day.
Yeah. Sit
down with your girlfriend, your boyfriend, whoever you're trying to turn nerdy, and watch it with them.
Like I said, it's really, really good. It is a really good movie. But it's just I have reservations about it. So that's all I got to say about it. So are you done with this one?
Yeah. I mean, again, any of these, I'm always going to check them out.
Right.
Regardless, because I think they've done really well on them for a long time, and they're worth being given the opportunity to try. And I really like this one. It's making me want to go back and try the source material, and that's rare. Like most of the time in these, the only other one I've ever seen was Doomsday, Superman Doomsday.
Right.
I have a sealed Death of Superman in the black bag, including everything that came with it, still in my collection at home. Because I wanted the source material, not necessarily to read, because I have an open one.
Right.
But I just wanted that. Other than that, I've never had any that made me want to go back and read the source material. This one I do, to see if it holds up.
I can see that. I can see if to see the fact that it holds up, that would be, I could see wanting to read that source material. So, alright, well, I think it's time to move out of the long box. Hope you guys enjoyed those stories. And the next up we have the Comic of the Week. Now, due to a issue with my digital comics not working properly, we just couldn't get the Image comic done. So we're going to basically switch it to the next Image comic. This week we're talking about New Guardians #1 from DC. It is written by Tony Bedard. I think it's art by... the penciler is Tyler Kirkham. Colorist is Nia Ruffino. And a whole bunch. And the cover for it was Kirkham, Bat, and Rod Race. There's a lot of names. There's always a lot of people that go into comics.
I know. Why can't you just one person draw it?
Exactly. Just draw the comic. All right. So I just read this one, and I picked it because I requested this because I wanted something with Green Lantern. I wanted something with this guy. Which one is he? Kyle Rayner. I'm not, obviously I don't know which ones are which anymore, but
historically Kyle Rayner came in the late 90s, early 2000s. It was on Ron Mars's run of Green Lantern, and I'm doing this from memory. It was issue 51 of that run where he was introduced after Hal Jordan goes crazy, kills off all the Corps and all the Guardians and everybody, and except for one Guardian, Ganthet, who creates another ring and takes it to Kyle Rayner on Earth.
And that being said, okay, so this comic apparently starts out with that. Yeah, this Ganthet guy who I think looks like a 2'4" hippie with the long hair. It makes me laugh. I saw this picture.
He's the hippie.
He made me giggle when he gets to it. You know, he's like, I, Ganthet, will make a new ring, blah, blah, blah. You go to New York City. You've got Kyle Rayner, apparently is a struggling artist.
Yeah, Kyle is an artist, which helps him with his
makes me laugh. Again, that's kind of weird. I don't know how being an artist makes you overcome will, or makes you overcome fear, but whatever. To the side note,
you know how dangerous it is to be a struggling artist?
Yeah. This is probably one of my favorite frames. There's a frame here. If you got, what's his name? Ganthet looks like he's hovering in the air. He's got the flowing hair, but he looks like he's like kneeling, like if you were to stand on the ground on your knees. That's what it looks like. The body looks a little misproportionate.
They're small.
But his head is normal size.
The opening of the comic is literally a reprisal of that number 51 or 52 issue in the early 2000s for Kyle.
Right, and what I was telling Greg earlier is that probably my favorite page in this whole comic is the fact that it's one page with what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 frames that describes that says, welcome to the Green Lantern Corps, and by the end of it, he already knows how to use constructs and knows what the Green Lanterns are. I'm talking, that is hilarious to me that they're like, okay, how do we do this? How do we introduce this guy? And okay, so we're going to do it this way. All right, so this is the normal Green Lantern thing. Okay, this is the question. Yeah.
Yes.
Why does he make his own?
Because he's an artist.
Okay. That was what, because later on in the comic, well, we'll get to that in a minute. Okay, also, Sinestro is not a green alien.
That's not Sinestro.
It says Sinestro 117 decommissioned.
Right, he's Sinestro Corps member 117.
Oh, it's Sinestro Corps?
All of the groups, all of the different color rings now, and I can't think of how many there are, we'll tell you at the end, all have a leader and their own corps.
Ooh. Okay, now that makes a little bit more sense then. So, moving on. So, we go into the next frame. I'm describing this because this was a really good comic.
Okay.
So, we go into the next page. The page has got this Sinestro Corps guy, which is yellow. I did know that. Sinestro was a yellow Corps. Fear guy. Because that was in the crappy movie. Or they're not crappy, but kind of not
Continue.
like the movie. Okay, anyways. And so this guy's terrorizing people. Another thing is you got Scream Like Girls. The guy's a weird looking, I say alien, obviously he's not alien to himself, he's a lizard dude. Do they call him girls on his planet?
It's comic books, suspension of disbelief.
Got it, okay. Anyways, so for some reason the ring flies off his hand, saying that this guy's been decommissioned, and then the guards that he was really making angry decide to take him out. You go to the next page and you've got a red dude. He looks familiar, kind of. Let's see, what do we call him? What's his name? Where does Ring go? Oh, here we go. Red Lantern. See, that one just says Red Lantern.
Because they're the Red Lantern Corps.
So there's a Sinestro Corps, not a Yellow Lantern Corps?
Right.
Okay. So that was confusing me a little bit. Anyway, so this guy, for some reason, is saying burn murderers. I don't know if this is a good guy or a bad guy.
They're revenge and hate, and every one of them feels like they've been done wrong by someone or something, and they're given the power from this red ring to do bad, do damage, and go have their revenge.
Okay, so they
and I cannot think of their
are good guys doing bad things.
If you want to look at it like that,
okay,
yes.
All right, got it. Anyways, all right, so yeah, so his disappears, Rose goes off of him. Hey, look, he dies too
because their ring turns into their life, their heart.
Really, the red guys?
Yes. If you become a Red Lantern, if you get decommissioned for any reason other than death, you die anyway.
I didn't know that. I just thought maybe things shot him because he was really angering a tank in that.
No.
All right, and then we go over to Sector 22, which is funny because Earth is what sector? Like 2018 or something like that? Here, hang on. I'll go back 2 frames.
No, go back to 2814.
2814. It's funny. Earth is 2814.
Yeah.
Then we go to this one. It's Sector 22. That's got to be a close sector. Anyway, so now we got this purple chick.
No, they're only 22 sectors away from Oa.
Okay.
So we're 28 13 away from it.
Or whatever it was. So we got this
28-14.
purple chick. What is she?
She's a Star Sapphire.
Star Sapphire.
Theirs is love.
Is it only chicks?
Yes.
Okay. And this chick nearly dies in space. That one threw me off. First off, this is where the comic goes a little wonky for me.
Why?
Because she'd have died immediately.
Yeah.
So, but it's a comic book. I got that. So, apparently she loses hers. Okay, so we go now. Oh, but she gets saved by somebody.
Fatality,
whatever.
Also from the very early mid 50s and 60s, I think.
Right.
She might have been later on from that
she's
series,
hot.
Kyle Rayner's run.
I'll give her the benefit of the doubt.
That's Star Sapphires. They're all hot.
She's really hot. And so then this girl's ring doesn't disappear, but jump back. Then it opens up on Times Square over in New York City, and a crane starts to fall apart. Oh, look, it's Kyle Rayner. And, oh, wait, that's not Green Lantern. He's got brown hair. And they start making fun of him because he's not Hal Jordan or John Stewart.
Or
there's another one.
Guy Gardner.
I didn't like him anyways. His outfit always looks stupid to me. But they always make fun of him. Some kid asked him why he has a bib on. Because he's got a huge bib. So, we go to the next frame, and he's talking to this kid. He's making fun of him. And then these rings start to show up. And I'm looking in the frame, and I see yellow, red, blue, kind of an orange. Is there an orange?
Yes.
Okay, orange.
Avarice.
The purplish one. Another blue, purple one. So all in all, I'm seeing one.
Well, that one's technically going to be your pink one. That's your purple. That's your blue.
Oh, okay. So I'm seeing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wait, what did I get? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm seeing 6 rings.
Technically 7 if you count his.
Right. If you count his, you got 7 rings. Is that how many cores there are?
Well, yeah, there's 8.
What's the 8th core? Black?
Black.
Okay. So I don't see a black
Maybe
ring
9
in
if you count white, but we're not going to.
Oh, I just noticed that. There's a little kid with a Flash t-shirt on. That's funny. So all these rings are coming around him saying, Kyle Rayner of Earth, you have been chosen. You have been chosen. You have been chosen. Good thing he's got enough fingers for all those.
Well, what's funny, my favorite line in that is when the first one shows up and it says, Kyle Rayner of Earth, you have been chosen. He goes, hey, how about you just announce my social security number while you're at it? Secret identity!
I didn't think the Green Lanterns really cared about their secret identities.
Kyle does.
Okay.
Because he still has a burgeoning art career that he's trying to do as well.
I got you.
Because it doesn't pay a lot to be a Green Lantern.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, anyways. And so the next page comes up, and you've got somehow, except for the Sapphire chick that got her ring taken, well, you've got what's her name again? That one?
Star Sapphire?
Fatality. Fatality shows up. Then you got a yellow one shows up.
Right. These are ones that were told that a stolen ring had been taken from one of their brethren. So somebody from each corps shows up to get their rings back, including the Indigo Corps. I don't remember what the Compassion. Indigo, I believe, is Compassion. Blue is Hope.
Why does he say Nakler Orak to Manuk?
That's their language.
Ah, got it. Okay. So anyway, so these people start showing up. We've got yellow, the red, the purple, the indigo,
pink, indigo, and
there's an orange. Oh, that's the red.
The Avarice one, I think there's literally just one guy. There might be more than one at this point.
So, and that comes the end of the thing. They're getting ready to kick his butt. It says the next issue: a brutal Times Square beatdown and a disastrous trip to Oa. See you in 30. I don't know what that means.
30 days, monthly.
Oh, cool. So I liked that one. Like, I know the past couple of weeks I've been kind of harsh on the comics. I gotta sit up because I don't talk well from back there. I know I've been kind of harsh on the comics for the last couple of weeks. That one was cool. I liked it. I mean, there was, like I said, there was a couple of things that were just, it's my rationale brain goes, well, that can't happen.
It's a comic book. Everything can happen.
Exactly. But that was a cool story. Even though it was kind of humorous the way they did it, they took like 2-3 pages max, told almost the entire backstory of Kyle Rayner. Bam! 3 pages. You're caught up! That's awesome. I don't have to read 8 issues or 100 issues of Green Lantern to get the backstory of the Corps. I mean, yeah, to get the backstory of the core, you probably would need to read more. But to get the overall description of what the core is, who Kyle Rayner is, how the process works, that you essentially can get all that in the first 2 or 3 pages.
True.
I love that. That's fantastic.
I thought this was a very good way to jump people onto a Green Lantern book. I thought it was really good. The art was fantastic. I love the constructs and everything that everyone is making.
Oh, yeah.
Fatality being in it for me is very cool because she was an uber Green Lantern bad guy for a while.
Nice.
She was running around on her own, no powers, wiping them off.
Sweet.
The face of whatever planet or space that they happen to be in. So bringing her around, that was very cool for me. The art, like I said, is fantastic. I think it was done really well. The shots of the actual people, like Kyle's constructs, the workers there grabbing the crane.
That's an awesome.
That's really good.
Awesome
That's why he's a good Green Lantern. He's an artist. This is what he sees when he's trying to fix a problem.
Oh, nice.
Is that whereas maybe Hal would have done like a giant hand and a wall to stop whatever this stuff was, he's got people connected to all of it.
Right. Now, and like I said, to be honest, this was probably one of the first things I honestly enjoyed, and I can't wait until we get back to DC so that maybe we can pick the next one, so that we can continue on with it, because it was just awesome. I really enjoyed it.
We'll have to go to something else, but I might buy it just so you can read it anyway.
Yeah. So, anyways, like I said,
check it out. It's called New Guardians. It's from DC's New 52. It's a really good line. The cover art was really good. There's some guys on there that there's a couple here you didn't see, like the blue one here, and he's Hope, and that's Avarice. That's not their names. That's their power.
What's Avarice?
Greed.
Oh, okay.
But check it out. It was really cool. Comixology has got it. Go to a local comic book shop. Order it from DCB Service. Anywhere you can find it. All right.
So, yeah, that was just a cool book. I enjoyed that book. So.
Moving on to...
Let's see. So this was my little throw-off last week. It was the Noob versus. And last week I picked Captain Atom, and Greg picked Flash, the Barry Allen version. And
now, unfortunately, I am told that I have to let the viewers, or not the viewers, we know they're not viewers. The listeners decide who wins this if we get someone that comments or emails us about it. And in this case, we had a comment about it, which was said, Captain Atom would win. A military-trained, battle-hardened, superpowered soldier versus a hero who can only run fast. I know who I would put my money on, and that was from Captain Awesome 05 from YouTube, and I respect your decision, sir, but I do not agree with it.
I, however, love your decision, because that's awesome. That means I win. So, yes, one for me. We should keep a tally. We should keep a tally. Write a tally on the board over here.
Okay.
And so just put Noob versus M and G, and so far I've got one. Noob, you forgot the verses. There you go. M, G, 1. Boom! I'm winning! Alright, so what we're going to go ahead and do now is we need to pick some more comic book characters.
Actually, Captain Awesome emailed me directly and gave us our next set.
Oh, wait, okay, wait a minute. Who are they, and then we get to pick who gets who.
Okay, it is Lex Luthor versus the Joker. I get Joker. I get Joker. I want Joker. I'm the DC guy.
That's awesome.
So I get to pick, out of both DC guys, I get to pick mine first.
Oh, really? Okay. I'll take Lex Luthor. I'll take Luthor because I'm pretty sure Luthor's the only one that's actually won. Joker never wins.
Yeah, but Joker kills a bunch of people.
Yeah, he may kill a bunch of people, but killing a bunch of people is not the overall objective. It is taking over the world.
He was the Luthor was the president. He didn't win. He was voted wrongly.
Okay. Wrongly or not, he voted.
Look,
he became
and
president.
I bet that the Joker is voted president of his knitting club in Arkham every time he goes.
Oh, I'm sure of it. But okay, so
except
anyways, it was who would win between Joker and Lex Luthor?
Let us know who you think.
I definitely think Lex Luthor could beat that. Because he's like super powered. He's not super powered, but he trains a lot. He's always portrayed as a big old buff dude.
Yeah, but Joker's not going to fight him. Joker is going to. I mean, Lex Luthor is a genius, but he's a business genius. He's a mechanical genius and all that stuff. But on pure maniacal crazy, right. Joker's got him hands down.
Nah, well, yeah, but crazy doesn't always win. So
crazy is going to win.
But if you're listening on YouTube, leave us a comment. Let us know who you think wins, because we want to keep a running tally. Or if you need to, the email will be in the descriptions. You can always email,
or we will say it at the end.
Or
of the show.
On Twitter. We keep forgetting about Twitter. You can always shoot it to us on Twitter, and we'll tell you then.
We'll do all that stuff at the end. All right, so now that is over, we are moving on to the short box, which is just stuff I noticed or the noob noticed during the week that we thought was newsworthy. We may just mention it and tell you to go look at it. In this case, the first up is the Avengers reaches $600 million domestically, and that is the third most ever for a movie, following only Titanic and Avatar.
And then I think only the reason Titanic's up there is because they re-released it.
No, Titanic was already up there.
Oh, okay.
Titanic was up there because it was in theaters for like a year. But go check out the numbers on that. If you haven't seen Avengers yet, what's wrong with you? If you have seen it, go see it again. We got to beat Titanic. Okay.
Oh, wait a minute. Hang on. Let's just look at this real quick. Apparently, on Box Office Mojo's adjusted for ticket price inflation list, Avengers is number 27, which is still not bad. Well, because you got to think, you got the IMAX 3D and all those tickets go up.
Right.
Go read the article.
I agree with that, but it's like a lot of people, when this was coming out, was talking about the difference between like Harry Potter's record and that record, like the opening day record.
Right.
And it killed it financially, but it also killed it in just pure ticket, the number of ticket sales.
Right.
Okay, moving on. What I found was in October, for Breast Cancer Awareness Month, Marvel Comics is going to do a line of variant covers, which a variant cover is basically just that. It is another version of a monthly comic book cover that is going to be, it's done for one reason or another. A lot of comics have variant covers these days, but these are going to be all, they're going to be the pink, they're going to have the Susan G. Komen cure with the ribbon on the front, and they're good. There's one of X-23 that is just great, and I love it. Next up, we have Will Smith returning for Hancock 2, ? And that's just simply it. It's, somebody spoke to him if he's up to it. He said it's something he would talk about doing, but, there's nothing down for it yet. Would you guys like to see another Hancock movie? Personally, I loved him as the gruff, drunk superhero. Granted, he wouldn't be that in the second one.
Honestly, it wasn't one of my. I actually liked the movie better at the end, like the very end,
when he's a real superhero. No, I thought it was funny when he hits the train.
Oh, I didn't say it wasn't funny. I just didn't like the premise behind Hancock. So, anyways, I'm not going to spend a lot of time talking about it. So, next up, we've got one that Greg found that's Transformers hats actually transforms. Go take a look at these pictures. It's really cool. I don't know if you can actually wear the hats, but there's these cool looking hats that will transform into an actual looking robot.
They're from the Big Bad Toy Store. You can pre-order them there, and it was just it looks like just a normal normal ball cap, but then it transforms into a
transformer.
A transformer,
right? And next one on here was, I'll let you do this.
Genndy Tartakovsky, who for my childhood, did stuff like Dexter's Lab and things like that, is looking to develop a 3D Popeye movie. This is coming on, years and years later after Robin Williams did a live-action Popeye.
Right.
And I've seen parts of it. It's been years since I've seen it. But what do you guys think? Would you watch a Popeye movie these days, considering how old the character is? Do you think they could modernize him, or would you be interested in seeing him modernized?
I probably would, but only reason I would probably go see something like that.
In rehab for bulimia.
No. The only reason I would probably go see this is just because it was a big thing from when we were.
If they got Robin Williams to do the voice of Popeye too, I think I'd be happy with that.
So, all right, next up is Damon and Jeremy Renner Bourne movie team up in the future? Maybe. Question mark. It's actually a pretty lengthy article. With it looks like a couple of trailers for the new Bourne Legacy. No, Matt Damon is not in the Bourne Legacy, but apparently he has said that he wouldn't be completely against the fact of being in another Bourne movie with Jeremy Renner.
He is quoted in saying, "I think if Bourne Legacy doesn't work, we can just ignore it and pretend it didn't happen, and that'd be fine. But I expect that it will work only if it. I expect that if it will work and only help us." Okay, that.
I expect that it will work and only help us if we did another one, which I'd love to do.
I read good. That interview was from KCRW Radio, it looks like.
So, yeah, that was just one we saw that was, it would be pretty neat. I don't know how it would look having those two on the same
I would
screen.
love to see Matt Damon and Jeremy Renner. I haven't even seen the new Bourne one, but I like him. He's been big ever since Hurt Locker and stuff like that.
Right.
I'm going to see this movie in theaters. I'm really excited. I love the Bourne stuff, and if it looks anything like the regular, Damon movies, I'd love to see them both. I'd love to see two agents featured in a Bourne movie.
Right. That would be cool. So, anyways, that's pretty much all the things for the short box. If any of that stuff interests you, take a second, click on the links, go check them out. Let us know what you thought. And last thing we've got on here is my discussion. Noob discusses. Excuse me, I got like the hiccups. The bark with a hiccup.
Oh, nice. That's classy.
Yeah, it is what it is. So the story that Greg found and told me about is Spider-Man gets his own teenage sidekick this August in Alpha. I'm guessing that's his name is.
I'm pretty sure his name is Alpha.
And the reason he told me about this because I grew up really big Spider-Man fan. I loved the cartoon from the 90s.
I read the novelizations of Spider-Man.
My favorite thing was the wars, the Secret Wars. I loved the Secret Wars. But this is this is a pretty long article. I'm not going to read a lot of it. Pretty much, the article just talks about what we could talk about. Is it a good idea for Spider-Man to have a sidekick, considering he's usually portrayed as the kiddish type when he does a team up, like the younger one. He's not a mentor type,
right?
Which honestly, my problem is when I think about it, I think it smacks too much of maybe like a Batman and Robin thing. But instead you have like a Robin and a Robin. Or I guess you could go maybe Nightwing and Robin. Nightwing's a little bit younger.
Yeah, that one.
So
maybe.
Instead of having Batman and Robin, you get Nightwing and Robin. So, I mean, it could work. I think it all depends on the character. Okay, apparently I'm still
It's gonna be featured in August on Amazing Spider-Man number 692 from Dan Slott and Humberto Ramos. They're going to introduce him there. I think that this is cool because Spider-Man, yes, he's always aged to a certain point, but for the most part, for the better part of the last several years, he's been more of a teacher. He's teaching in laboratories and all this stuff. I think taking on a kid's sidekick, depending on the kid's demeanor, is cool. And the reason I think he would now is think of how many just bad guys he's seen out there. Why would he want to tell this kid no? Or why would he want this kid to go out there and use what powers he may or may not have on his own and then possibly be lured in by some of the bad guys and become another bad guy for him to deal with?
Well, I think the thing is, Spider-Man's always been a loner. Always been a loner.
He's not. He's on the Avengers. He's on the Defenders. He's a Fantastic Four at one point.
The normal thing. Okay, apparently I'm the noob. That's because noobs say such things. But I don't know. I don't think this is going to work, and this is just me. The best line in this to me, though, in this article, is the fact that, where is it? It says that, of course, giving Spidey a sidekick 8 issues before a big anniversary at number 700 seems just a bit ominous. Hope you survive the experience, Alpha.
I think he survives. I don't think he stays Spider-Man's sidekick. I think something happens between the two of them, and he goes off and does his own thing, which is perfectly fine with me.
I don't think he lasts long. I don't think Spider-Man needs a sidekick. I think if you want to keep putting him in groups of stuff, then that's fine. But sidekick never really been my favorite thing. I don't think that works, especially if it's not a web slinger type thing. Every sidekick you ever look at has always something very similar to what they do as their mentor. You know, you got Green Arrow and Speedy. You got Flashes, the Junior Flashes, whatever their names are. Batman and Robin. You know, every one of them always has something to do with
and
it.
that's an old paradigm, though. That's something that has always been done.
I don't think it's an old paradigm. It's an old paradigm for a reason. It's because somebody who shoots webs out of their hand and climbs walls isn't going to know how to help somebody who is electrically charged and can blow somebody out of the sky. You know, they're not going to be able to. The only thing they can do is help them with the morality of things,
which I think is fine. Spider-Man learned how to use his powers on his own.
Right, but still, that still does not make him a good teacher for somebody who's got a different set of powers. I mean, I might see the thing on. There was a strip or part of the comic in the article, and it looks like he's going to have some kind of electrical power.
I think it's going to be, it's going to be, I can't think of the word. I'm blanking on words today.
That's okay. Some kind of electrical power, some kind of burst energy or something like that.
Energy-based. I think he's known enough energy-based people. He could call Johnny Storm and say, "Hey, dude, how you do this?"
That's not energy-based. It's fire-based. But I get what you're
saying. It's still a projectile. That's the word.
I think there's better people to put this with. If you wanted to do a Spider-Man sidekick, then you should have done something Spider-Man-esque.
I think it's redundant. I think it's too redundant these days. But let us know what you guys think. If you think Spider-Man needs a sidekick, if you don't, if you like it, if you hate it, just let us know. I think that's going to be it for today's episode. We ran a lot longer than normal, which I'm enjoying, actually.
So far, we're sitting at a good time. I'm going to do the outro this time.
Okay.
It's my turn. If you got any comments or suggestions about anything we do, we've got several different ways you can reach us. You can do it on Twitter at nerdandthenoob. You can do it on YouTube on the comments. You can leave a rating. Please leave a rating on iTunes.
A rating, a review, a comment, anything.
Or you can send us an email at nerdandthenoob@gmail.com. Just send us all your comments. Let us know what you think of the show. Let us know what you want to hear about. Do you got a story you want us to talk about? Shoot the link to us in an email so we can find it and we can look at it. You can tell us if you want to. We can even try to put it in a long box if you want to. It's just send us your info. Let us know what you think.
If you want to get to us directly, you can get to My Boring Life on Twitter at gman0184, or you can get over to the Noob for his entertaining gamer life at opaque mango,
opaque_mango,
and continue to check us out. I'm glad to see we have people listening. It's been really cool to have that little tracker that I have at home that tells me people are checking it out regularly, and I enjoy that.
Right. Well, guys, I hope you've had a good week. We had a decent week. Hope you've enjoyed the show, and we'll see you next week.
For Nerd and the Noob, I am Greg.
I'm Michael.
Talk to you next time.